Good evening, I'm Dick Brennan.
And I'm Christine Johnson. Welcome back to the broadcast. Cyclist deaths in the city reached a 24-year high in 2023. So why is Mayor Adams nowhere near his goal of building hundreds of miles of protected bike lanes?
Investigative reporter Tim McNicholas asked the mayor that question.
Mayor Eric Adams campaigned as a cyclist candidate.
Protected bike lanes, that's crucial.
But for Nina Sebgear,
I think we were all really hopeful.
hope cycled into disappointment.
The work that the city has said that they would do is way, way, way behind.
Sebgear fractured her femur when a man opened the door of his parked car just as she was riding by eastbound on Foster Avenue here in Flatbush. 10 years later, she says one thing is still broken.
Do you see a bike lane?
Yeah, I don't see one.
I don't either. There is no bike lane. There wasn't then. There isn't now.
There are some bike lanes on other streets in the area, but city records show she'd have to travel 2.5 miles from the accident site to find the nearest protected bike lane headed east toward her destination.
A protected bike lane is the kind with a barrier or a parking lane between cyclists and car traffic. The kind Mayor Adams said he'd build 300 miles of in his first 4 years.
In the first 2 years, you built just 58. Are you still going to do that?
That's the desire to do so. The goal is, what's very important to me, and I said this over and over again, you know, there's these, I'm a biker and I enjoy riding, but there are those who are not bikers. And we get a lot of concerns that people have throughout the year on, you know, how do we go about building out the bike lanes.
The city has refused to reveal the number of protected bike lane miles they've built so far this year. Sebgear is a member of a nonprofit that tracks bike lanes called Transportation Alternatives, which says it only knows of 2.5 miles built in 2024. The goal, laid out in a city law and the city's annual streets plan, is 50 miles, as it was last year when the city built 32.
Many factors come into play when you build out the bike lanes. The mayor accounted for some of them that are community, but others are physical, right? That painting can only be done in certain times of the year. It depends what our contractor bandwidth is for that year.
Meanwhile, in Bayside, Queens, residents are frustrated about a lack of parking.
Terrible. It's just rearranged the whole neighborhood. People are scrambling when they get home from the evening to find parking.
Sebgear, on the other hand, says the mayor needs to do more to protect cyclists and to keep his promises.
The silly thing about it is then if the next year they say our goal for the 2024 is 50 miles, they're forgetting that they're already 20 miles short.
20 miles short. That's one way of looking at it, though, right? I mean, some people say, okay, you know, like in Bayside, they don't necessarily want it.
Exactly.
But how does the number of protected lanes in this city compare to other cities? How are the cities doing it?
Well, it's a good question. The city says that last year they built more miles of protected bike lanes than every other major U.S. city combined. Still short of their goal, and many cyclists say it's not enough.
What about the goal of the 50 miles of bike lanes? Wait, how many more months do we have at the end of till the end of the year? 4?
4, maybe 5.
Are they going to make it?
Well, I asked the deputy mayor that. She said, we never know until the end of the year. She said we should check back then, and we most certainly will.
Well, it sounds like they got a lot to cover, though, doesn't it, Tim?
Yeah,
All right.
A lot of miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.